Hello, wonderful people. How are you this morning, afternoon, evening, depending on your time zone? My very good name is Christabel. This is Doing Life with Chris. Welcome. Let's start cooking because here we bake before the sun goes down. So here I have 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. I am going to add a teaspoon of salt into it once I am done sieving. I have my cold butter here. This is about 200 grams of butter. And then I have my onions, I have minced chicken, I have one potato which I have already peeled and cubed. I have one egg which I will use a little later. That is why I have not cracked it. Of course, I have my measuring cups, my measuring spoons over here. What am I making? Chicken pies.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings.
This chicken was about 500 grams of chicken breast, which I put in my food processor and just minced it at home. And chicken gets ready pretty fast, and especially this ground chicken. So what you need to do is have all the things that you're going to be using in this chicken ready. So if you're using any vegetables, please make sure that they are ready. If you're using any spices, please measure them out. And anything else that you want to use in this dish. I'll put in some diced carrots and a few spices, which I will show you when I get to put them in here. But for right now, I want to cover this chicken and have it cook covered for about 5 minutes, and then we'll come in with our spices and our vegetables because we want our vegetables crunchy and not soggy. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been no more than 10 minutes. I have my diced carrots. I have a tablespoon of onion powder, just a little bit of chili flakes for the extra kick, and then I have a teaspoon of tandoori masala and a teaspoon of curry powder. I have a teaspoon of turmeric powder, and then I have a teaspoon of ginger powder. I am going to cover this and cook it for 2 or so minutes as our spices blend in with our meat. Let me add a little bit of water. Guys, I didn't tell you, here I have a potato that is boiling, and because I want a binding agent for my meat, all right? I don't want my meat to be like samosa meat. I want it to be a little bit bound. So that is why I have a potato boiling here. I will mash it and then I will drop it into my meat, and I'm going to mix it in so that we have that almost sticky consistency. I'm trying to break up my meat because when you cook ground beef or any kind of ground meat, it tends to cramp up. This is how our meat looks like, right? Let's prepare our dough. We are going to put our cold butter into the dough. Just incorporate the cold butter into your flour. At the end of this, the result should be a bread crumpy kind of dough. If you get what I mean, we should have dough that looks like breadcrumbs at the end of this process. And then we are going to use cold water to knead our dough because we need this dough as cold as possibly can. And you need to be very careful with water at this point because the dough is not as dry as dough that you have not incorporated butter. One wrong move and you have a wasted dough. My dough is done. That is how fast it is to make this dough. and then take the other edge, and before I press it down, I'm going to use water. Like so, just to ensure that it seals. Then I take my fork and press it down on the edge. This is the last one, ladies and gentlemen, and then I'm going to use all the leftovers to make maybe another 2 or so. Here I have my 11 meat pies. This is the time to use it. The same fork. Let's do this. Incorporate the egg and the milk completely. Like so. And then take a silicone brush or whatever kind of brush you have. I'm lucky to have a silicone brush, but that should not limit you if you do not have one. And then just brush the tops of your meat pies to achieve that sheen when you take them out of the oven. This is going to go into the oven. I have put 180 degrees. I am hoping by 20 minutes, the 20-minute mark, they'll be ready to get out of the oven because, guys, the sun has set. I am operating on borrowed time, quite literally, but I am a believer.